Russian canes in Ukraine, and wings that bring the pain on this week's Chicken Wings and Controversial Things.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a while. Glad to see you guys.
Glad to see you as well.
It's been not 5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months since the last time we got together. We got a lot.
I grew a whole foot.
Yeah.
Grew a whole foot. Yep.
Well, we old, so we probably shrunk.
We shrunk like 3 inches.
We shrunk. We did. We probably did lose some weight though.
I lost weight because I stopped eating carbs because of the diabetes.
Yes, and that same here. So the whole. I mean, this is not going to do great for my cholesterol, but this is my cheat day.
Yeah, cheat day.
Cheat day.
Yeah,
that's how we're gonna chalk it up
tomorrow.
Yeah. Cut down on sugar.
He didn't cut down on no damn sugar.
You changed the baby powder.
I changed the baby powder.
Nice.
Everything's we moving up in the world.
So today we're trying Ale House again.
Yeah.
Right, but we're trying different flavors because we were just impressed with them last time. This is mango habanero. This is jerk.
And 5 pepper.
5 pepper.
It might as well be 12 pepper.
Yes.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah. So I made sure I got Tommy his,
Yeah, I got my extra towel.
You got your extra towel over here and everything.
So you just wrap it around your head now.
Yeah. We might have to bump the AC in a little bit.
Oh, we will. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Ukraine today. And I guess we're just going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. I mean, obviously spitballing because...
Yeah, last time we got together, Vladimir Putin was already putting troops along the border of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody did anything about it. And he was like, I'm not doing anything.
Nothing to see here.
And then he sent another 100,000 to the border. Still, nothing to see here.
Yeah,
And everybody here, he's not going to go in. He knows better than that.
He knows better than that.
He respects the United States. 5 seconds later, he went in.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's happening there is obviously a tragedy. It's a humanitarian tragedy, and the world has outreached. They've come up. 3 million Ukrainians are out of Ukraine. There's a bunch of them
ones
still
that managed
there.
to get out.
Yeah, and the thing is, this has nothing to do with any kind of logic. I don't think.
No.
Vladimir Putin just wants to have an empire.
Right.
Okay, and he wants his legacy. You were talking about legacy with China a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is. It's all about legacy. He wants to be like, Alexander the Great and all these people, and Peter the Great, that's the Russian one.
So I've been thinking about this, and what I think is that he just wants to be that be put down in history as that modern day dictator. Right, because he's following the playbook of the Mussolinis, the Hitlers, and you name the drop down list of all the
which is funny because he is actually using Nazis as an excuse to go in. That's what he's telling the Russian people.
Right.
We're attacking Nazis.
Yeah, the Nazis over there.
And then he's saying nothing is happening.
Right.
So there was a Ukrainian lady on TV the other day, and she's like, I called my mother, and my mother said, well, what are you guys talking about? There's nothing happening over there. And she's like, nothing happening. The whole place has been carpet bombed flat.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to send you gas money, and you come visit us.
Yeah.
Okay, like she called her bluff, and she was like, what do you mean? And the Russian people are now starting to
kind of realize.
Wake up and
No. They're out in the streets.
Well,
they're getting arrested.
Yeah, getting arrested, but, it's kind of futile because he. So the thing is, when I say that he's trying to be the modern day dictator to go down in history, right? So he followed the playbook to the T. He basically cut off all media. The only media in Russia is the stateside media.
Right.
There's no Facebook. There's no IG. There's no nothing.
Right.
Right. Any kind of opposition media or nonpartisan media, they were all forced to close
or arrested.
If they didn't want, if they chose not to follow directions.
A couple of days ago on the main media channel,
right?
I think she's been there for maybe like 12 years. a female reporter. The guy's doing the report and he's reading whatever he has to do, right? And he's giving the news of the day. You know, they're attacking the Nazis and this and that. And nothing is really going on. And she went behind him with like a poster board. And it says,
"Help me!"
They're lying to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that.
They arrested her and fined her. This is the second time.
Yeah, she probably got that 15 years.
See, the thing I find curious is that everybody keeps talking about World War III.
Right.
Okay, World War III, and it's because Putin has nukes. But in 2014, Putin made NATO take the nukes away from Ukraine.
Right.
So what someone was mentioning the other day is that Putin doesn't think like me and you think. What are we doing this today? What are we doing this year? He thinks about what is this empire going to do in 40 years?
Right.
Okay. So he's been planning this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And when he took Crimea, he did nothing. I think it was in 2008. They attacked Ukraine. Okay. And they took part of Ukraine. And the president at the time, we're not going to be partisan at all. So we're not even going to mention who the president was. Okay. But the president at the time sent meal rations and blankets. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. And now this one now is sending Stinger missiles. Okay. Because he has to.
Right.
Okay. But he's refusing to send planes.
Right.
Okay. They're saying that we're going to get involved if he sends planes. But the
Right.
problem is they're Polish. They're Russian planes that are owned by Poland. And they're going to be flown by Ukrainians. It's got nothing to do with us.
Right.
Okay, but the problem is that the Ukrainians have proven to be so fierce that they're going to go and attack where the missiles are coming from in Russia.
Right.
Okay, and I think that's what they fear. And a lot of it is a mess. A lot of it's linked to, they try to say now that our gas prices are because of this. Okay, okay. We get 7%. I saw it on the energy, the government agency for energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, we get 7% of our oil from Russia.
Yeah.
It's not enough to do anything. Okay, it's not what's driving this price. This price is due to the fact that we went from being the main exporter, the largest exporter of oil, even a year ago, to not exporting almost anything. Okay, and literally buying. Okay, and now we're trying to replace Russian oil. That's what we're saying. We're trying to replace Russian oil. That's 7%. And with Iran.
Yes.
Right. And they're not picking up the phone.
So the problem is, the problem is that we're worried about getting into World War III if we help the Ukrainians, but if we have a treaty with Iran, then the only thing they want is to be taken off the terrorist list because they get sanctioned. And they're going to want to be able to proliferate their own nuclear program.
Right.
The minute Iran can tape a nuclear missile to an Uber or to a helicopter or to a horse, they're going to send it to Israel. Guaranteed within 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You have it? Send it that way.
For sure.
And we're going to be in a world war.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're almost better off, in my opinion, helping the Ukrainians now than waiting to have to defend ourselves against Iran, China, and Russia.
I agree.
You know who's... The other thing I heard today that I couldn't believe while I was waiting for you guys, I was watching the news. The deal that the Iranians are doing to ship out oil and stuff like that is being brokered by the Russians on our behalf.
Well,
why?
Funny you mentioned that, right? So let's think about this. So obviously Russia's main, how they get their money is through oil, right?
50% of their GDP.
50% of their GDP. So listen to this stat. Does anybody know why the EU is kind of like, we don't agree, but we're just gonna let you do your thing.
Right. They got mind control over Debo.
Right. They got mind control. Right. Here's the reason why: 40% of the European Union's oil comes from Russia.
60% of Germany.
25% of their gas comes from Russia, right?
Right.
So Vladimir Putin, he was like, "Oh yeah, y'all want to front on me? I think I'm gonna have them ships turn back. It's winter over there, right?
Yeah, it's not even. It's pipelines. He could just cut them off. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why Europe was like,
Not
wow,
only that, but
it's pretty cold.
but Putin is worth $100 billion.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's nuts. He can wage his war himself. What's happening in Ukraine now, though, is that they're gonna have to come to a treaty within like a week. I think they're gonna take part of Ukraine and they're gonna leave the rest of Ukraine as long as it agrees not to join NATO, because I think Russia is gonna run out of guns. They were already begging the Chinese, "Hey, can you send us some missiles? Can you send us some planes?"
Listen,
And if the Chinese get involved, the main problem here is that we are weak, or we appear weak. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's that we appear weak. So I agree with whatever, with a few things that the president is doing or not doing, right? Because I don't want him to send troops over there. I don't even want him to send weapons over there. They thought. So when this whole thing started, I was like, man, the Swiss even like levied bank accounts and like frozen assets and stuff like that. So I thought, man, Putin kind of stepped in it this time, because the Swiss is always neutral and they're like,
oh no,
you can't have your money.
I
right?
think he stepped in it and he can't unstep in it.
Right. So what I think is crazy is that Biden was like, you know what, we're cutting off supply, or whatever oil is coming from Russia, we don't want it. And that they're claiming has sent oil prices through the roof, right?
And it hasn't.
And it that's not the reason, because here's the thing. That oil was already here.
Yes.
Right.
and we already paid for those barrels that are coming. So
Yes.
It's based on futures.
it's based on futures, right? So the oil, again, what I think Vladimir Putin is, right? Number one, he's former KGB. And again, this is just my theory.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense. He's former KGB. He's not your regular prime minister. He's a gangster, man. And he planned this way out. He was like, word, all right, so I already know the United States is, Trump is not in power, so I ain't got to worry about him like pressing the button on the toilet.
He wouldn't even press a button on the toilet. The problem is that when Trump was in office, we were sucking out so much oil that Russia couldn't sell any. Seriously. So they were broke. There were no customers. And the argument now is, everybody in this administration says, oh yeah, but you know what? Of course they can suck out oil. There are 9,000 leases that are unused right now to suck out oil. The problem is that you don't just need a lease of land to suck out oil.
Right.
You need a permit, and then it's slow rolling them 2-3 years out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if Biden all of a sudden said, all right, hey, you know what? Wherever you were working in 2020 in the oil industry, go back and start doing it again. We could flood Europe with oil. We have a surplus. And it would literally cut them at the knees.
It would. We do have a surplus, but here's the thing. I also like the fact that he's playing like my son, fight or flight. He's going flight. He's like, okay, wait.
Well, because he stepped in it.
Right. So what happened? So yeah, we can start using our reserves, but what if our reserves,
It's not even our reserves.
I mean, they still have Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy Giuliani is
they can get
bad.
I know, but they can get oil from him.
From Rudy Giuliani.
From the Four Seasons parking lot. Landscaping. Four Seasons landscaping.
So I think another thing is that just like the people in Germany are like, oh, Russia wants to invade Ukraine. Keep putting gas in your cars, guys. Fill it up because it's about to go up.
Yeah.
Okay, I think just like they're kind of compromised because they're doing so much business with Russia, I think that the Bidens are also. Okay, and it's not even conspiracy theory. Okay, they have already linked. Okay, this is something called the Durham Report, and if you haven't heard about it, you're going to hear about it probably in January.
Okay. They have dealings over there, I know.
Okay. The Durham Report has already shown that Hunter Biden got a total of $35 million transferred into his accounts from China, Ukraine, and Russia. Okay. So these guys have already kind of bought their influence, and now it's time for U.S. to pony up. Okay. Right. Now it's your turn to be quiet in the corner because we gave you millions of dollars. Okay. I think it's gonna get hairy really soon with these guys.
It is, absolutely.
Okay. I think that they're gonna throw Biden under the bus. They're gonna say he's old, he's not capable anymore. Worst case scenario, 2024. I don't think he's gonna make it to 2023 as a president, honestly, because
that's a stretch.
But I think his own party's gonna do it.
I think that's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Since we're going down this rabbit hole,
this is why this is a rabbit hole. Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole. So this definitely opens up that box that we were presented of the second impeachment. So one of the main reasons why the previous president got impeached was the allegation that he withheld aid to Ukraine.
Right.
But his rebuttal to that was like, no, we paid in full. I don't know what you guys are talking about because Europe isn't paying their part.
He never held anything. He threatened.
Yes.
Well, he never did. He sent it the same day. You just going for that one now, huh?
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna relax with this mango.
Yeah,
I'm going for the gusto, man.
Then I'm gonna take a trip to the Caribbean with the jerk.
And
look, here's the thing. You know what I've learned with wings?
Tell me.
And like we've eaten enough wings already that I'm starting to notice this.
We always go for the hot one first.
No, wings with sauce are glossy, right?
Right.
Whenever you see those matte wings, they're hot.
Those are the ones Tommy needs to stay away from. But he's diving in head first.
Oh, and you got like a turkey leg of them.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have one.
I'm afraid of the mango habanero.
It's not mango habanero because he said it was only one little.
Yeah,
it's just mango for real.
Yeah,
but
I guess
if anything, say some nice words at my funeral.
Yeah, it doesn't smell spicy.
You ain't gonna die. You're gonna dehydrate from sweating.
Yeah, it's definitely not spicy.
That's delicious.
It is delicious though.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming the trick to Ale House is ordering them to go.
No, the trick is ordering them breaded.
Oh, because you ordered them naked last time.
I think what happens is that they buy these wings already breaded.
Yeah.
And the naked ones that they buy come from swallows and smaller, like
pigeons,
canaries, because they're like this big.
The doves in the parking lot.
I talk these things up so much that I took my wife and I'm like, let me have 20 wings. And them shits came on a salad plate. I was like, and she's looking at me like, You've disappointed
me. Yeah.
You're good for nothing.
Yeah.
And I look at the waiter and I'm like, what have you done? I'm like, I'm gonna need marriage counseling. And he was like, you gotta order the breaded ones if you want the breaded ones. I'm like, where the hell does it say breaded on your menu? Nowhere. Mm-mm. Yeah, but these are definitely.
It's definitely delicious.
So, mango habanero, not spicy.
It's not habanero.
Has a small kick.
It's not mango habanero. There's no way. I taste the mango, I don't taste the habanero.
Again, this is why the aliens are not going to get you.
Very true.
They're not going to get you.
Very true. Didn't you? I thought you brought the sauce up.
Why, you want some sauce on that too?
No, I don't know. We were going to give Ghost Pepper a plug.
Oh no, I'm gonna kind of film it because we ate the whole sauce. Okay. Well, let's give him a plug now. Right. Okay, so my friend Jeff here in Miami, he makes a hot sauce called Miss Peppers.
Okay.
Okay.
The red one is the best.
He makes a red one. He makes a green one, and I bought 2 bottles, right? And the intention was to bring them here, show them to you, tell you where to get them. Go to MissPeppers.com and this and that. You can get them also at Robert is Here down in Homestead. But the truth is, we ate them. We ate them in the 5 months that we didn't do this podcast.
We ran through them sauces.
We went through all the supplies.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, but I'll give him a plug like before we go.
Sure.
So yeah, so I think it feels like we're going back into like Cold War again, because every time we threaten to do something, Tom is wiping his forehead.
Are you ready?
I had one bite of the fried pepper and it's kicking my
Every time that we threaten to do something, Putin goes, "Don't do it because I'm going to nuke people."
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I can smell it.
And the Russians have always been like that. Okay, there was a time in John F. Kennedy was president, and his chiefs of staff were saying, okay, these guys are going to stick missiles in Cuba. We need to attack and invade Cuba before the Russians put missiles in there.
Right.
And he asks, are we sure the missiles aren't already there? No, they're not there. For sure they're not there. JFK said, you know what? I'm not going to authorize this. I'm the commander in chief. We're not attacking anybody.
Right.
And the chiefs of staff they were pissed. And it turns out we get images over Cuba, and they already had nukes in there. So if we would have attacked, they would have nuked Miami, Washington D.C., New York City. It would have been a completely different story, actually, for all of us, because none of us were born. And I think, I hate to say it, but the way this is going and the lack of control that the West has over this, I think we're going to end up back in a Cold War. Okay, where Putin's going to take Ukraine.
Right.
Okay. China's going to take Taiwan. Okay. And the reason I know that the Americans already know that China's going into Taiwan is in the State of the Union. Biden goes, and there's the CEO of Intel. And he's agreed that he's going to use 20 acres in Cincinnati, Ohio to make a factory for microprocessors.
Right. Okay.
Most of the microprocessors are made in Taiwan. He already knows he's not going to have any.
Stick a pin.
Are you dying?
Bro, that 5 pepper is fierce. Like, I got the hiccups. I got the hiccups. That 5 pepper is fierce, bro.
If you're not going to eat your celery, I'll take it.
I'm definitely eating the celery.
That's like Chewbacca saying, there's a hair in my food. If you think it's hot,
It is hot.
I'm going to dial 911 on my phone, so I only got one left.
Bro, it's hot.
We're going to
I'm
try
not
it
eating
out.
another one.
Like,
You're going to eat it and you're going to like it.
the thing is, here's why I
I'm
don't.
going to skip the jerk. I'm just going to go for it.
So here's why I don't like it.
Oh my god.
So remember the Mount Helens were hot. But the flavor on the Mount Helens
Was great.
was great. This is just hot for no good damn reason. No good reason. So yeah, you might have to bump the air, bro. Because it is hot.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's his drink?
I think I just saw Jesus in his wing and he was crying.
Wow. Bro.
Oh, I don't know what I did to deserve this.
You know what?
Damn.
I disagree.
There's no way the flavor on this is good.
The flavor is peppery.
It's very peppery, but there's no hint of anything. The hint that you get is pepper. And more pepper.
I took one bite. And
You know what?
And I doused everything up. I doused the rest of the wing.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Boy, you'll lie.
No, I'm serious. I like slow burns. Like I don't like the
This is not a slow
ghost
burn.
pepper
is it?
punch in the face.
Oh,
This
yeah?
is a Scotch bonnet burn.
So,
Okay,
Scott Bonnie's burn without the flavor.
hold on, because it's hitting me now.
Yeah, exactly.
so there's 3 other hots that I believe are above this. I'm maybe gonna try it.
If they got flavor, it's fine. But if it's hot for just heat,
Just no good reason, and that's exactly what that is.
There's just
I mean, I'm gonna eat it, but dude.
this doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so what level was the Jamaican jerk?
It was like mild. It's above the mango habanero.
oh shit, my lips are burning.
Bro,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I retract my statement, Your Honor.
Yeah. For me to say this thing is hot, this thing is hot. Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas is like, Your Majesty, I would like to defend myself on my own behalf.
Yeah.
I was mugglized with my associates at the Circle K establishment. Like smutting in court. It burns as much right now as it did when I was first eating it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't escalate.
Yeah.
It doesn't escalate, but it just chills. It hangs out there.
I accidentally pepper sprayed myself in 1998, and that's what my face feels like right now. I did. I was a manager at a retail store, and we found this asthma inhaler, and the other manager goes, "Hey, look at this asthma inhaler," and when he points it, both of us went, and we pepper sprayed ourselves. We almost died. That's what my mouth feels like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even think I'm gonna taste the jerk if I eat it right now.
It tastes good.
The jerk is good.
Jerk is good.
You know what? But I'm still kind of enjoying the heat.
Oh my god.
I'm enjoying it. I want to paint ranch on my tongue. But
man, and Tommy, you ate all your celery already? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My mouth is on fire.
You guys want some more?
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a celery for $18.
Damn. This is nuts, dude.
Yeah. They're delicious. So what the hell were we even talking about?
Russia.
We were talking about Russia? Oh, about Putin.
Damn.
Bear pigs.
So I say that I think it's obvious that Putin had this in the works for a long time.
He did. I think gas prices, I think they're going to use the excuse. And I think gas prices are going to keep going up. Even though they've gone down the last couple of days, I think they're going to continue to go up.
You know what I think is crazy? I'll go.
So the I did that Biden sticker is popping up on every gas station.
There's another one with Putin holding a glass of champagne. And he's like, I did this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, you know what I think is crazy? This whole gas hike, it didn't have to happen.
No.
Right? Because think about BP or you name the oil company. They're like, gas prices are pretty high and Americans are struggling. I wish there was something we could do. Mm-hmm. Right? And in one end, Tommy was like, well, you can keep the gas prices where they are because you already paid for that oil. No, other than that. There has to be something else we can do.
What happens is the gas prices are based on the price of the barrel of oil. Mm-hmm. And when we were just sucking out our own oil, gas was $1.82. It didn't matter. We had so much, we're sending it out. Mm-hmm. Okay. The problem is that we stopped sucking out our own oil.
Right.
And we started buying it from OPEC countries. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now we want to buy it from Iran. And Saudi Arabia isn't answering the phone for us now because they're like, why are you trying to buy it there? Just buy more from us. Okay.
Or Venezuela.
Venezuela doesn't have the capacity to take out their own oil. Everybody's talking about Venezuela to kind of trick us about Iran because Venezuela has to import oil at this point. Mm-hmm. All that whole infrastructure they had is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can imagine.
But the problem is that OPEC controls the supply of oil. And when the price goes too low, they cut the supply. Yeah. So it's like the beers with diamonds. Okay. They're the ones controlling it, the scarcity. I think they're going to continue using the excuse to raise the price of gas. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a long time ago, a guy named Ross Perot.
Oh, come on. How do you not remember Ross Perot?
And Ross Perot, the first thing he said was, and this is like 85, 86, and he goes, the first thing I would do as president is raise the price of gasoline in the United States so that it mirrors the rest of the world. He was proposing $5 a gallon gas in 1989. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have $5 gas here, but the rest of the world pays way more for gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in California, it's $7.99.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because it's California, and there's a high gas tax in California. But I think it's going to continue to go up. The problem is that it's happening at the same time as we're kind of facing maybe a recession.
Obviously, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get another one now. Inflation is going up. Okay.
Interest rates are
going up, and our GDP may be staying flat. So we may be hitting a recession soon. I don't know how this is going to affect crypto or anything else, but I went to go get a 12-pack of Coke the other day, of cans, and it was $8.
Oh, so you got the hiccups too?
Yeah, I got the hiccups, man. It's crazy. So I don't know. I don't think this is over.
No, it's not over by any stretch.
Unfortunately, what's going to happen is I think that the Ukrainians are going to get decimated.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, that's
although they're putting up a fight.
They're putting up a hell of a fight.
They're putting up a fight. I mean, and I think
have to fight.
Right, and I think Putin has stepped in it so bad that there's no way he's going back.
He can't. He has
no
to go
back.
all in now.
Even if he goes all in, even if he retreats today, he's put himself on the radar now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the sanctions are going to continue.
So I heard this fact the other day too, which is why I brought up the whole thing about why the European Union is kind of on the outside, like, all right, we don't like what you're doing, but we're not really a part of this. What's going on here? So, the fun fact was that the United States alone still pays Russia $500 million a day for their oil.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we put sanctions on on Russia,
export.
but we're still paying them money.
Yeah,
So if 7% is our number, right? The EU is 40% for oil, 40% of oil, 25% gas. Imagine what the EU is paying. So the EU is stuck in it. The EU cannot the EU cannot make any drastic declarations, or they can't say, all right, you know what? Let's cut off. Just like Biden said, we're going to cut off the oil from Russia. The EU cannot say that.
No,
Because if they say that, then they're going to freeze to death. All of them.
unless the U.S. floods them with cheap oil.
One reason why this might completely come to a halt, a screeching halt. So Netflix just mentioned that they're not going to no longer support streaming services in Russia, so they're not having anything to watch.
That'll be nothing.
Yeah, but they've canceled. McDonald's got canceled over there.
McDonald's, Starbucks, and Coca-Cola.
Putin today said the West is trying to cancel Russia. Yeah, no shit. You're talking about getting canceled. Oh man, we have to wash those wings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm understanding why this guy gave me so much ranch.
Bro, it is like my lips are on fire, dude.
Did you have more than one?
Oh, I had two.
You had two?
So did I, just now.
Yeah. That's why I said I'm a glutton for punishment.
Oh god.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that.
So you know what's crazy? I said to myself in my head, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go to Mango. I'm gonna go to Caribbean because I know what that's like, and I'm gonna taste the hottest one, right? And by mistake, I picked that one up, thinking it was a Caribbean jerk, just not paying attention because I was talking.
It's not shiny.
I took a bite into it, and I was like, whoa. I went from 0 to 100 in like a bite.
This is coming from a man that this week I bought a blueberry ghost pepper sauce.
Oh yeah, oh it's so delicious.
I'm like, that's so curious. Like that's such a weird combination. I tasted it on the chip, and I was like, that ain't gonna happen. 2 days later, I walk in. He's eating the sauce. He's like, "This is the best sauce I ever had." I'm like, "But you still have skin on your face." I'm like, "Oh man, this is hotter than that."
Yeah, this is way hotter.
Yes.
Oh, way hotter, bro.
And there's 3 more hotter than this one.
3 or 2.
What would the name of those? Like freaking Russia?
No, damn, I forgot. But Mount St. Helens not even the hottest one.
Dude.
Mount St. Helen was pretty hot, but it wasn't like that.
So it's dying down because I only had one. But I definitely feel that the same slap Greg's dad gave his mama at the barbecue shop. I'm feeling that same slap right now.
Speaking of which, we should take this time right now while our faces are burning to tell people that if you got any ideas for us, you got to email us at thechickenwingpodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Also, we got a website. Guess what it is? thechickenwingpodcast.com. Okay?
Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button.
Yeah. Go on there. You can see our latest episodes. You can vote for your favorite wings. You can buy merch. And what you guys don't know is that there is a new shirt out there now. It is a new shirt. It has got a Ukrainian flag on the top.
Oh, wow.
It has the words Puck Footin on them. And it's got some chicken wings coming in from the sides with explosions and shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, you're going to want to buy two in case it wears out and you got to still wear it later. But you can get this at our website. And send us a message, drop us a message. Man, I can't even think. These shits are so hot.
Oh, for sure. And obviously, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on IG. What's the other one?
And Twitter.
Oh, and Twitter.
Yeah.
All right. Same deal. Chicken Wing Podcast.
And definitely take the time to visit the same restaurants that we're trying. And we'll have like some monthly polls, so definitely vote on it and see which ones you like.
Oh, definitely. I mean, what was the last poll? The last poll, Ale House won, right? Or was it? Yeah, it was Ale House.
The last one, and DJ Khaled came in second.
DJ Khaled came in second.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled has some good wings.
DJ Khaled, another wing.
He does.
Is fire.
It is fire. We should probably try those next time.
For sure.
Pretend we've never had them before.
But
yeah, these things are hot. We should start like I can't even think. What's the name of that? Snapchat, Snapfish. What's the one where people put short 10-second videos on there?
TikTok.
I can't even think, man. We should start a TikTok where we just throw those wings at people. It'll be like the video of the dog smelling the durian for the first time.
Oh my god. Okay, so again, for a spice to make me sweat, like it has to be like another level, and I'm literally sweating over here, dog.
I sweat for everything.
There's 2 mango wings. There's 5 jerk wings, and we got a whole.
And we have all the 5 pepper
I'm
wings.
not taking that home. Can't.
You know what you should do? This is mean. You should find any bum. Hey, you can't be choosy.
Get canceled.
All right, you can't be choosy. You're getting food. All right. If I hadn't eaten in a week, I'll figure it out.
We should close them up and send them to AOC. She'll be like, they tried to anthrax me.
Oh my god. Oh god. So,
and
yeah,
we ran out of those fuckers gave us less celery on purpose.
I think so.
They're like laughing in the kitchen. Give them 3 celery.
Yeah.
And 18 ranches.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. This was pretty fierce, Tommy.
It's fierce.
I mean, I don't know why.
I don't even know how long have we even
Because
been.
I wanted to see like, okay, what's your tolerance like?
What's my tolerance?
Yeah, and I found it.
No. I mean,
I want to see like, okay, what makes you sweat?
what makes me sweat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's yeah. Not even playing around. Like this thing's hot, man.
Man,
I mean,
I even forgot. How long have we been podcasting?
Probably like 20 minutes. I don't know.
I don't even know. This is gonna be the shortest episode ever. We were like, today we're gonna be talking about holy crap.
Yeah. Wait. So which one did you get for your wife? For Ozzy's wife?
Oh no, she just got regular hot.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't. I wouldn't give her that.
No,
she would
no.
eat it.
What?
She would eat it.
All right. I'm going in for one more, Ozzy. Yes.
3?
You can do it.
I'm going in for one more.
I'm
Bro, you can see. Look, you want to know why it's so hot? They left the seeds on there.
Oh god.
They left the seeds on there, bro. This is crazy. They left the seeds, so they're like, "Oh yeah, you think you can handle spice here, bud?"
We don't know what the. Do we know what the 5 peppers are?
I have no idea.
Man.
I think one of them's ghost pepper.
Excuse me.
If I
Hopefully
remember
we can edit
reading
that
it,
out.
Scotch bonnet, ghost pepper.
I'm like burping up a
and I
storm
don't know
over
the
here,
other
bro.
3. I'm just guessing.
I think there's scotchy in there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's jalapeno. I don't really taste jalapeno.
What for?
Chili. There's probably chili pepper in there.
Yes. It definitely tastes.
So I'm thinking scotchy chili, ghost pepper, and something else. What's a Carolina? I always meant to ask you.
There ain't no Carolina Reaper.
Okay. Carolina Reaper's on the hot. It's hotter?
Hotter.
Really?
Yes.
Come on, you have a Carolina Reaper sauce at the store, and I didn't think it was hot.
I don't have a Carolina Reaper sauce.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yes, you do, man. The one that looked like a vinaigrette.
No, that's ghost pepper. That's a ghost pepper.
You bought a hot sauce that said Carolina Reaper on it.
And it sucked. Yeah, it didn't. It wasn't hot.
Was that a Marshall's one?
No, that's the blueberry.
That was from Pepper Palace. Okay. Now I got a plant downstairs growing, and probably in about 2 months, we're gonna find out what a Carolina Reaper tastes like.
Okay, what did you do? What kind of soil did you put it in?
What do you mean? What kind of soil?
Soil.
Oh, soil. I thought you meant like did I bury like a dead body in there?
The dog that was under the rug.
You know, here's the thing.
Soul came out.
Yeah. So this right here, look, perfect. I'm not gonna lie. This is a different level of hot, bro. I'm not
It's
even
bad.
gonna lie.
I mean, I even forgot. We were talking about Tom Brady coming back. That motherfucker spent 44 days with his wife and 3 kids and said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I need to get sacked again.
Yeah.
At 45 years old, I'll recover from that. No problem.
You had
Yep.
to watch The Bachelor?
Yeah.
That's what my wife is watching right now.
Yo,
She was like, when's the podcast starting so I can watch The Bachelor?
look. At the end of the day, Giselle is a wife just like every other wife. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have it in them to see their husband at home, like not doing anything that's related to what they need to do.
Yeah, of course.
It just doesn't work.
Of course.
And
he's
no
a
disrespect to
45-year-old.
the wives out there, right?
He is a 45-year-old NFL quarterback. Okay? You usually don't last that long in the NFL.
Yep.
Right? So he gets home and he probably has to ice his whole body down every single day. And his wife was probably like, you can wash your plate. Okay? I'll have the garbage is full.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, so I'm gonna just correct you a little bit. He's a 45-year-old elite quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't get hit all that much, first and foremost.
No, he doesn't. And
You know
he's
what I'm
6'4".
Right, and he's pretty much a statue. Because Tom Brady's definitely not known for his scramble game. Or catching either.
No.
But you know, look, more power to him, man. You know, we already know Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick is trying to
Who's
get
that?
back in the NFL.
Man, that man's gonna play for the XFL.
Yeah. You know what they should do with all these former NFL players? They're send them to Ukraine
Send him out to pasture.
to throw grenades. Because they still got the arm.
They still got the arm.
Yeah.
Well, except Peyton Manning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
Peyton Manning would blow himself up on the front line.
He'll be a liability because his forehead's massive.
No,
You see him from
it was very heartbreaking to see his demise, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Like Peyton Manning is such a pure passer. He's an amazing quarterback.
And
But as soon as he got that neck injury, bro.
and to see him like during his last season, like his lineman had to help him get up. I think it was worse to watch Favre because like he was damn near dying out there, and it's like, oh man, you need to give it up.
Favre was a gunslinger, though, man.
Yeah.
That's what John Madden loved about him. There's nothing so like super fantastic about Brett Favre.
Just like he looked.
There are
good.
two things.
He was just gritty.
He was tough,
Yes.
and that man could throw a football. Not Dan Marino level,
Yeah.
because Dan Marino had a heavy arm but very accurate.
Dan Marino couldn't walk.
Not after the '85 season.
No. That man was like, but he was another big guy. He could throw.
Yeah. So
Talk about rabbit holes and tangents.
super tangent.
Super tangent.
All right. So what else did we miss? Because we were going to talk about something else before. That when we were talking, we were thinking about coming back to do a podcast a few weeks ago. What was
So
it?
we talked about Russia.
What were we going to
We mentioned that Juicy Smollier got out of jail.
Yeah.
Crack pipes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about crack pipes.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's true.
Or the
Oh man.
the don't say gay, or what is that?
The Don't Say Gay bill
The
in
don't
Florida.
say gay bill in Florida.
That doesn't say
that's
gay,
current.
but it doesn't say gay anywhere.
Right.
You know,
It's a nickname for a bill.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happened since we've been gone. The price of gas went up to $5.
Yep.
Tom Brady came back.
Mm-hmm.
Putin is invading Ukraine.
Rams won the Super Bowl.
The Rams won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that coming.
No. No, what I didn't see coming was the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl.
Well,
A lot of liberal states dropped their COVID restrictions.
yeah, but for some reason, the Miami-Dade bus system, it still says no mask, no ride. Okay, yeah.
What I think is bunkers is that the Brooklyn Nets,
Yep.
Kyrie Irving can attend the game without a mask,
Right, but he can't play.
but he can't play or he can't go in the player locker room.
Didn't he play last night, though?
Not at home.
It was on the road.
He can play on the road.
And he dropped 60 points.
Yes.
Yeah.
And away players can play
Mm-hmm.
if they're unvaccinated.
Yeah.
So it's a mess. Really.
Well, you heard now that what do you call it? Pfizer's talking about seniors need a fourth. For what?
No way, man. No way. I'm totally
No,
against it.
and you know what's messed up is that they were talking about vaccinating under 5-year-olds and vaccinating on 10-year-olds, and now they've turned around and said, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that." Okay, my brother vaccinated all his kids. You know, I'm like, and we didn't vaccinate our child, but then she got Omicron, and she proceeded to climb on my lap and cough in my mouth. Okay, I had Omicron.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if you were a high risk person, this was a scary time these last 2 years. But I think we're over the hump. We're over the hump. And nobody knows where Fauci is. That man has disappeared.
Listen, that man has been in the public eye being criticized, and for all the foolishness that he said and all the stuff that has come out about his the part that he played in all of this, which was very, very shady. So it was about time for him to go away.
Pfizer just, well, not that long ago, but since the time we've been gone, announced record profits.
Of course, they got a government contract.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't know it because my Pfizer stock went down to some affairs. Bullshit. Had my shit go down 50%. Record profits. Well, they're definitely not giving it back to their shareholders.
They pay dividends.
Thomas, my dividend was $1.28. Okay, now again, obviously I'm not a bigwig, right? But the little 5 stocks that I own in Pfizer did not pay me very much in dividends, all right? Just like that 72 cents that we made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got.
We
put in our 2-week notice.
Yeah,
I did.
You know, we can't
I need everybody's routing numbers.
right?
Y'all getting 26 and a third cents.
Yeah. So, I think, yeah, no. So if there are record profits, they definitely didn't give it. They didn't give none to me.
No.
All right. Did you all hear that Amazon is going to split their stock in June?
20 to 1.
Yeah. $150 for Amazon stock. What it's gonna be. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
It's giving everybody a chance to kind of jump in, but
Yeah, but they're eventually gonna get split up.
it's gonna take a while for it to get back up to where it's at right now.
Yeah, because it's ultimately a logistics company as opposed to a retail company, a delivery company.
Not only
It's a tech
that,
company.
but they're doing it in the middle of a time where companies are shit in the bed right now.
Yeah.
Okay, crypto is shit in the bed right now.
You know what? So again, I'm gonna put us on a different tangent. Kind of going back to Russia, right? So you know what I also think is interesting. I think Vladimir Putin, while I truly believe that he planned this a long time ago and he got everything like planned out like, okay, the U.S. is not gonna interfere too much because they're, and the EU is not gonna interfere too much because we're tied in, right? But think about this. What if we would have taken the steps, right, to start moving towards electric?
It's a valid point on the surface. That's what the problem is.
Okay. But we can do it.
We can, but I had this discussion with someone the other day, and this person tends to lean left and plays devil's advocate, and we usually have a lot of discussions. And so he goes, with all these gas prices going up, we should all be leaning toward electric vehicles. So I played devil's advocate, and I said, let's go down the wormhole.
Okay.
And it's a very short wormhole. Okay? And I told him, so where would you charge your car? He goes, at my house. He goes, and with Build Back Better, that was trying to pass here in the United States, they were going to build charging ports everywhere. Okay? And I go, okay.
They have.
And I go, where does the electricity come from? And he says, well, all these charging ports are connected to the grid. And I go, okay, so we're going down the 10-page kindergarten book that I was trying to go down, right?
Okay.
So the electricity comes from the grid.
Okay.
And I go, and where does the electricity from the grid come from? And he goes, I don't know.
Really? He was trying to have a conversation and he didn't know that?
I knew that I would stop him there. And I go, well, in
that was
South
not-
Florida, it's a great idea. Because in South Florida, we have one of, I think, 28 nuclear reactors in the United States that are not being decommissioned. Because there's like 43 and half of them are getting decommissioned because they're old. And we're not building any new ones because we're afraid of nuclear for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay.
With good reason. I mean,
91% of the United States produces energy by burning oil,
right.
shale, coal, or natural gas.
Right.
We can't switch to an alternative power source when there is no alternative power source. Wind and solar,
Well,
we can have wind and solar
No,
from here
so
to California,
that's-
and it will not replace.
no. So notice I didn't say replace, right? I said
But you need to replace.
no. You don't need to necessarily replace it because okay. So I want you to think about this, right? The person that you were talking to wasn't nimble enough to think outside the box.
Right.
He just heard his talking points from whatever,
He
news-
didn't go far enough into the information. Right.
Right. He was just arguing talking points. He wasn't arguing actual, like he didn't dive deep enough.
It wasn't a debate, correct.
Exactly. So, yes, when I say I think we should, I think it would have been a great idea to start moving in that direction. I'm not saying to abandon everything else because you can't.
Right. But the problem
But moving in the direction, and again, it wasn't going to happen in 10 years, but at least start moving in that direction.
But we have moved in that direction.
And we have.
Okay, 10 years ago.
But if we had started earlier.
Oh, well, here I've got a story about that.
I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Okay, no, we did start earlier.
And I want to piggyback on some, but go ahead.
Go.
Okay, so what happens is, 10 years ago, Elon Musk couldn't sell a car at a dealership.
Man, why we
Because-
gotta talk about Elon Musk, bro?
Because they wouldn't let him. All of these car manufacturers wouldn't let him in.
Right.
Why? Because they're all super invested in oil.
Of course,
Okay,
they're also short-minded too.
so the replacement inevitably is nuclear. Okay, and it has to be nuclear. It's the only one that creates energy efficient enough that it can replace us burning fossil fuels. Now, there was a guy that invented the electric vehicle. Okay, I'm not talking about the one that Thomas Edison had. He did have an electric car that putted around at 10 miles an hour.
Fisker was the first one, wasn't it?
No, I think it was. I don't remember the guy's name. It might have been
Nikola.
Fisker. No, it wasn't even Tesla. He invented the dynamo. Okay, that's what makes the. But there's a guy that came out with a car that it was 4 wheels and a platform, and in that platform,
remember that.
He had batteries. Okay, in 1994, I think it was finally in a car show, and it was called the skateboard, and they brought it out. It was remote control. They brought the thing out. They go, here you go. You can put whatever chassis on the top of this, and this is going to be the base for your electric vehicles moving on.
Right.
The guy who invented it was at that car show. He was in his 90s. He invented that skateboard electric vehicle in the early 70s. And the automobile manufacturer burned his house down. They tried to kill him. Okay. The oil lobby was way too heavy.
Right.
Powerful. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's different because now we've kind of sold it all out to everybody else. Like we had the BP oil spill. We talked about this is British Petroleum.
Right.
You know. But the electric vehicles were invented a long time ago.
They were. They weren't very efficient.
But in the last 10 years now, now you can go on your phone. You can go to a dealer. You can go to CarMax. You can get an electric car.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's all of Ford now. Their whole lineup is going to be electric. All of Volvo is all going to be electric.
Not all of it, but they have a good.
I think Ford. I think Ford. The entire thing is going electric.
They're going to move to electric.
Nissan is
Nissan
on that path.
Nissan's had the Leaf for a long time.
Yeah. So BMW as well. BMW is always at the i3.
Right, but the problem is we're not there yet with battery technology.
We're not.
Right, and especially now
it's
with,
not that we're not there
shortages.
with. What was the point that you were gonna make?
The point I was gonna make was that did you guys know that oil is backed by the dollar? So you can only buy oil, like countries can only buy it with U.S. dollars.
Correct.
So I definitely wanted to like refresh my mind, like back up my claim with a fact. Like it is backed by the dollar.
Okay.
So that's why we will be losing a lot of our leverage as a country.
So
if we were to,
but as of today is what? The 16th of March, 2023.
yes.
We have lost that leverage. Because Saudi Arabia announced today that they're going to take the Chinese yuan for oil. So that has now shit the bed. Okay? And I think it all boils down to us not being the dominant power. I mean, the U.S.
dollar not being dominant.
No, the U.S. dollar has never.
No, it's never been
the dominant.
But it's stable.
Right.
Okay. The problem is, I think, with us right now is we've always kind of been the police of the earth, and now we're kind of letting other people be the police of the earth.
Right. Because it got too taxing.
But there was a reason that we were the police of the earth. Okay, because at the end of the day, people were being held to account for crimes against
humanity,
against human rights and civil rights, even with our crazy past with civil
of course.
rights. Okay, so I think we're getting into we're getting into a time where people are going to start holding their money because we don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, cryptocurrency has kind of gone down and gone up, and we don't know what's going on. But I guarantee you, crypto is going to go up again because people know that it's not linked to an economy.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
when the
country,
U.S. economy tanks, crypto goes up, and it's because people sell stocks and put their money in crypto. So it's becoming kind of the new digital gold. Okay. But I think we're going to go into an uneasy couple of years here, and it's. I don't think we're going to find the solution to replace oil, honestly.
So
the Build Back Better thing wanted to replace gasoline cars in 10 years.
Right. So again,
without
thought,
a replacement.
So again, it's not like I realized that wasn't something that would happen without some kind of concrete plan. But there is no. But the thing is, there is no replacement. So what I thought when I heard it, I thought that they were going to depend less.
Well, and I think
on oil, right, and the whole depending on less on oil is possible.
Absolutely,
it is possible.
Not only that, but the products that are made from petroleum I don't think the gasoline is the problem anymore.
Right.
Okay, the smog in California in the 70s and in the 60s, you couldn't see out into the bay.
Right.
Okay, and it turns out now that because of our emission standards, our air has actually cleaned up. There used to be an ozone hole in the ozone over Seattle, and they said the frogs were the first ones to die because they can't take the UV, right?
Oh, shit, my wife is going to have to move to Seattle. She don't like frogs.
Yeah, well, but here's the problem. That was in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. The hole has sealed up. It has repaired itself.
Right.
Because we're not throwing all the chlorofluorocarbons and all this
Right.
stuff, all the CFCs up into the air anymore.
Right.
So, like, our last president very abruptly got out of the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay.
The reason he got out of it was because we were footing the bill.
Right.
And we had already hit the benchmarks.
Right.
Okay, I think the problem we're going to have moving forward is going to be plastic.
Oh, God.
Okay, like all these things, all these black plastics are usually soy plastic. I keep them. I take my lunch in them. I'll use them for as long as I can before
sure.
I have to throw them away.
Yeah. But it's shit like this.
But there is an island of plastic in the Pacific the size of Texas.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to get really ingenious to try to pick that up. Some of it is already gone. Some of it is sank to the bottom of the ocean. It's in the fish.
It's in the fish. Like, it's killing the fish. It's
And so with
killing the habitat in
petroleum,
the Everglades.
with petroleum, I think the first thing we got to do is start eliminating plastics. Okay, and like this is actually not petroleum plastic. That's corn plastic. Okay, the problem is it doesn't degrade.
Right.
So that's in the ocean too.
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't made plastic like that out of petroleum with bottles for a long time.
Right.
But I think that's going to be one of the two problems that we have in the next 20 years is going to be plastics in Africa, because Africa's getting they're getting fundamentalized, okay, and nobody's worried about Africa. Like right now, if World War III were to break out right now because Russia accidentally hits Poland and their NATO nation, and we have to go in, and then let's say the nukes go out, the only place that doesn't get nuked is Africa. Because they're not involved in the geopolitics of anything.
Right.
Because nobody is worried about Africa. Okay, and that is a big problem. I think that the lack of kind of empathy that we show for the entire continent is going to bite us in the butt in the next 20 years. Well, maybe in the next 50 years, but it's eventually
Man, I think it's going to be less than that because look at...
I think they're the next scourge of the earth, honestly.
So, you know what's crazy? So it was just recently where I was with a couple of family members, right? And every time I hear about Africa or something like that, I never see the awesome vacation spots or whatever. You have to pretty much search for that information, or it has to be word of mouth, or somebody has to go and be like, "Yo, it's hot, but it's good."
Yeah.
Right? It's not that bad. But none of that is in the media.
Because nobody is worried about Africa.
I get it. Right?
Until Boko Haram came out.
Oh, God.
20 years ago, and they were killing little girls and stuff.
Right.
Where they didn't disappear. What's happening? We're not paying attention to it because we're worried about Putin trying to take Ukraine.
But the funny thing is, there's money in Africa too.
Of course, there's money in Africa.
But and again, because no one's paying attention, they're fucking pillaging that country. They've been pillaging that country for as long as anybody can remember.
Look, I have a buddy that I haven't seen in 30 years. Maybe 25. No, shit, I haven't seen him in 30 years. Guy has a double doctorate from Brown University. He got hired by Exxon, and he's in Africa. He took his wife. They had some kids. They live in Africa. They pay him with land rights. And he works for Exxon, looking for oil.
Land rights.
They're paying him with land. So his name is George. So if you see George Zimbabwe is a new country. Okay.
George Zimbabwe.
Okay. That is a new country.
Right.
Okay. He's filthy rich. They're pillaging the place. They're taking all the oil. They're taking everything they can find, all the minerals they can find. And the local people are getting rich off of it too. The bureaucrats are anyway. The regular people are suffering like anybody else.
Yeah, and being taken advantage of, having their legs cut off and shit.
So not to spin it this way, but it's curious to see how compassionate the world is when the people that are getting bombed don't look anywhere like any of us. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna see. Look it. If Russia was invading Africa, we would have never heard about that shit.
Yep.
No, we would have never heard about it.
Never heard about it.
They might be there now.
Yeah.
Actually,
China's there.
Of course they're there.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a shit. Okay, and China is there. Remember we were talking about cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
And the people in Nigeria are using Bitcoin because the Nigerian dollar is so freaking unstable.
Yeah.
And who do they pay? All the Chinese merchants.
Yeah.
Because all the merchants are Chinese.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's happening in Ukraine, it's definitely, it's genocide. It really is. But, you know, people get the warm and fuzzies when the victims look like you.
Yes.
Okay, and I think that's what's happening, and I think why everybody's up in arms. Okay, the country of my heritage has spent 60 years starving 90 miles south.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something that nobody's done anything. Okay, and it's because we don't look like the people that are feeling the warm and fuzzies right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's unfortunate. But that's definitely what's happening, and you know,
I hate that it always has to come back to that, boy. You see, me and we're glutton for punishment, boy. We're gluttons. I'm three of those wings in, and I'm tapped out, baby.
But you know what?
I can't.
They're still good.
It's good. It's too hot. It's hot. The thing is, man, if it was hot and there was like a nice either some kind of flavor behind
You
it.
saw me just eat a little crumb, right?
Yes.
It was the same as eating the whole one.
If there was some kind of hint of something, so you know, like I was saying, that blueberry hot sauce, right? It's hot, but that blueberry just softens you up a little bit because it has a hint of blueberry. This one is, and the pepper's just like.
Yeah. it just takes your lunch money.
And it stays with you it's
Just
not
like
it's not as bad
punched that
now.
little dangly thing in the back of my throat. It's like
So it's not as bad as when I was like
not
eating
like
it, but I can still feel the remnants of the pepper like on my lips and in my mouth.
It took
Right?
like 20
At least Tommy
minutes.
stopped sweating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
you
I only
He
had
only
one.
ate one, right? And we how many did you eat? 2 or 3? Yeah, you and I are 3 in, and it's gonna stay like that. We're gonna have to give that to a homeless person.
No, I'll eat them tomorrow for breakfast.
Get out of here.
Random tangent, but did you guys see Mike Tyson's new edibles?
Yeah, they're fucking ear
Oh my god. That's genius marketing.
You know what the funny thing is? I think Mike Tyson is so cool, man. He went from the angriest black man alive, okay, with the squeakiest voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
To I watched a documentary on, because again, everybody used to just fear Mike Tyson. Everybody still fears Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah.
There was a documentary one time, right, where they just allowed him just to tell his story and see what this. And the story that this man told, he was like, I don't know why these people don't leave me alone. Why don't these people leave me alone?
Yep.
How about you walk a mile in my shoes?
Yep.
You walk a mile in my shoes and you tell me what that's like. I
He went-
don't bother nobody. I'm doing what I want to do because it's my life and I'm doing what I'm not hurting nobody.
He went on a podcast recently with some rappers.
Is it his podcast?
Well, he has a podcast.
Well, no, but this one I think he was on.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't his podcast.
He probably went to slapping people.
No. And one of the rappers there was like all hard, like, yeah, because this and this and blah, blah, blah. I think Joe Budden was the guy that was in between them, right? And he's like, yeah, because I'm hard, because I don't give a fuck and this and that. And Mike Tyson just looked at him. And he was smoking weed, so he was like, the truth was coming out. And he's like, man, he goes, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I'll fucking kill you. This and this and blah, blah, blah. And the way he said it, the rapper backed up. He was like, he was like, no, I was kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody was quiet.
Yeah.
And Joe Budden was like this, like. Is it over? Did you start
Yes,
recording?
exactly.
Because every once in a while, Mike Tyson, who has had a lot of tragedy in his life, and he lost a child that drowned in a swimming pool when she was like 4,
yes,
and he's had all this tragedy in his life. Every once in a while, that animal snaps back.
Yes.
And when it snaps back, he's super quiet, and everybody else in the freaking room
gets nervous.
They take a shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's about to pop off at
Yes.
any minute.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him. That's what I love about him, man. Because like, there's no misunderstanding Mike Tyson.
There isn't. He just says it.
Yeah,
there's no misunderstanding.
There's no gray area.
Yeah, there's no gray area.
The thing with him is that he's very genuine.
Yeah.
So it's like
authentic.
Like he'll tell you now how he's doing this and he's doing that, and he's very calm and he's like he's not a young kid anymore and this and that and blah blah blah, and you feel that he's not just telling you a story,
Right.
you know, and then all of a sudden he's like, "I'll knock your fucking teeth out."
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
Wait a minute,
Okay.
you're talking to kids in the kindergarten. I don't give a fuck. You thought he was looking at me? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that, like, because the thing is, people they get all like. They get brave and stuff around Mike
try
Tyson.
to get brave, and then they realize there is no cage between the lion and them
Zero.
in the zoo.
Yes.
And then
Zero.
they're like,
Yes.
they're like, am I supposed to be here? I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I don't even have a name badge. I need to go home. Yeah.
Is that my mom calling?
Yeah. These people are- who was it that came into the store the other day? Freaking boxer.
Oh, I know. I wasn't here.
It wasn't Antonio.
No,
It's Harvard.
I know.
Anyway, he's like a 52-year-old boxer. He's from that time. Okay. And everything was cool. I helped him out. We talked for a little bit. He didn't know. I mean, he pretty much knew that I didn't know who he was. Okay. But Taj had already told me who he was. Lennox
Lewis?
No, it was Leonard.
Hopkins? No.
Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins.
So Bernard Hopkins comes into our place of work the other day. Super nice. He's there, I think, with his daughter, right? And because she has an apartment, he has another apartment. He's talking about how everything's cool and this and blah blah blah, and everything is nice. And I'm like, man, this guy is so nice. This guy's like in his mid-50s, but he's like ready to fight today, right? You can see this guy is freaking just he's
Ripped.
fit.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson.
So I'm like, oh yeah, so this guy's cool, this and that, and he's like, well, Ozzy, man, it was great meeting you. You know, we're gonna get out of here, this and that, blah, blah. And he fist bumped me, and the same thing happened. It was like when Mike Tyson gets quiet. He fist bumped me, and I think he broke my tibia in my leg. Okay? Not because of how hard he hit me, but of how hard his fist
was. Yeah.
And his wrists were like this thick, and he just went like this to my fat Cuban hand. He went like this, and I was like, if that guy hit me in the face, I would be dead. There would be brains on his hand. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this.
Brains. Your teeth would give up.
My teeth would jump out of my mouth before he hit me. It's like taking a ghost punch from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Be like, you get a concussion taking a ghost punch from Mike Tyson just from the wind.
There was a challenge one time where some people were paying like $1 million or like $2 million to take one hit from Mike Tyson, and nobody showed up.
What the hell's gonna show up?
Nobody.
Have you seen those people die? Like, have you ever seen like Jurassic Park when they shoot a dinosaur and that shit falls like this? That's how those boxers were falling. I saw one guy get knocked out in the ribs. How the hell you get?
Yes.
He was out. He was asleep.
Yeah.
He might have been pretending to be sleeping. Like, where at?
Yeah, I'm not getting back up.
And they hit him in the ribs.
Yeah.
And his liver hit his brain from the inside. Knocked him out. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And none of it. It's always been just TV for me.
Yeah.
Until I fist bumped Bernard Hopkins, and I was like, yeah, no, this is where I belong. I belong.
Yeah.
I belong here.
Yes.
I don't need to be boxing. It was rough.
So Lennox Lewis comes to mind. So when Lennox Lewis was the heavyweight champion, I was working at Pottery Barn Kids, right, in Coral Gables. Mm-hmm. And I see this guy come in, and first and foremost, he's taller than I am and probably double my width.
Right.
Okay. So I see this monster of a man walk in, and I'm like, I hope this is not a customer problem. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But as he got closer, I was like, oh man, that guy looks like the boxer. So then, whatever, greeted him and everything. And like, super, super nice guy. And very soft-spoken. Right? And I think he's British.
Yeah, he's British.
Super soft-spoken, right? And the whole time, and people kept coming up to him, taking pictures, and he was like, yeah, everything's cool, just don't touch this hand, okay? Don't touch this hand. And people, like, all these guys were walking up to him like, oh my God, Lenny! He's like, please don't touch my hand. Got into a little accident. And he was being so courteous, right? Until the last gentleman came up
and touched his hand without asking.
And the pain on his face first and foremost. And you saw the veins in his muscles and everything started, and I was like, should I call the cops?
I'm gonna punch out and go to lunch.
In the news today.
Officer, I didn't see anything. I was at Chick-fil-A.
I was downstairs. I don't know what happened.
Walk out backwards.
But the size of this man was intimidating for me. Yeah. Like it would have been. It was almost like when I saw The Rock for the first time. Right? I didn't think a human being could be that big. Or when I saw The Big Show.
The Big Show is big.
He's massive, but The Big Show he's not muscular.
He's like a fat guy.
The Rock is just. I can't even describe this man. Like I saw him in Chicken Kitchen. Okay.
Next to Porky's Gym.
No, not that one. The one over there by 117 and Kendall.
Okay.
That's the one I saw him at.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is when he was Rocky Maivia. He wasn't even as big as he is now. And he was a monster. A monster. That's when he was wrestling with WWF it was at the time. Not even WWE. Right? And
I used to see him like 4 times a week. Because I used to go to Porky's Gym.
I say he used to go to Porky's.
Yeah,
I never saw him at Porky's. That's the crazy part.
I used to go to Porky's Gym, but I used to go to Porky's Gym at like 1 in the morning.
So did I.
Okay, and I'd be there, and most of the time it was just me and this big monster guy. And every once in a while I'd be like, oh, it's Spot. Go spot him, or I'd be like, dying at 25 pounds. I'd be like shaking him. And so I just knew the guy, that was the guy from the gym, until I go to Best Buy one day with my girlfriend at the time's little brother. And, I pat the guy. It looked like I slapped him, but I pat him. He turned around and said, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, it's the guy from the gym. And the whole time, the little guy, the little brother's like, he keeps saying the same thing, like, oh, this and that. I'm like, man, what the hell's wrong with you? And this and that. So finally, we get back to his house, and he takes me to his room and goes, you slapped the Rock. You slapped the Rock. Wow. And I'm like, what the fuck is the Rock?
Wow.
Right. So the next time I see the guy, I'm like, he already knew that I knew who he was. I was like,
right.
Bastard, I had no idea who he was for like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, he's huge. Everybody sees that bull on his arm.
Bro.
That bull on his arm is like 12 inches wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
The camera does him no justice because he's big.
No.
He's huge.
Like you see those Kevin Hart movies with him, he could eat Kevin Hart.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it's just like seeing Shaq for the first time, right? But Shaq is just tall.
I got a Shaq story too.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got a Shaq story. I was dancing in the club, and I bumped into a wall behind me, super drunk. I fell on the floor, and it's like all cloudy from the smoke in the club. And somebody picks me up, and I'm like, oh, I made all those black jokes, and I just died. and God is black, because look at these giant black hands came from heaven and lifted me up. And when I look up, all you see is, are you okay? I was like, fuck is that giant guy?
Yeah. He's huge.
He is.
I love Shaq though. Shaq is cool.
Shaq has probably made the most of being an NBA player of anybody else. I mean, Magic opened theaters. He did all sorts of stuff. But I mean, Shaq has got a Shaq-a-roni pizza.
He owns part of Papa John's.
He's got Icy Hot on his arm.
He's on almost every product in Walmart.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, everything at Walmart, yeah.
Almost everything. Like, he's a sheriff. Like, he's just living his best life, man. Yeah, like, he's a DJ now.
He's equivalent to Snoop Dogg. Like, he's just...
Yeah. Wow, a lot of tangents today.
I
love it though. We haven't like sat and just chopped it up for a long time.
So now that we've caught up, Next week we'll be talking about one thing.
Okay, I will be remiss to say, or to remind everybody that make sure you hit the like button
Yes, on our video.
and the subscribe button.
It won't be 8 hours. We have been here for 8 hours. It'll be 2 hours long.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we try. Obviously, we want to kind of put ourselves out there and talk about even get some sponsors or whatever. Obviously, we're eating Ale House wings right now. We talked about Miss
Peppers.
Miss Peppers
hot sauce that we ate all of.
Absolutely. So we want to put that out there, get him some exposure because the hot sauce is everything.
Go to the Chicken Wing Podcast. I mean, the chickenwingpodcast.com and check out our Puck Footin' shirts. Okay.
I love it.
And definitely stay tuned because we're going to be trying new spots. We definitely had to try Ale House again because they have so many different sauces.
Oh, yeah.
But
And they bring it,
man. Within the next
it.
couple of weeks, we're going to be trying new hidden spots or even familiar spots in Miami.
For sure.
Right.
For
Absolutely.
sure. So,
All right.
I don't know. I think that's it. So, Chicken Wings and Controversial Things is back.
Yep.
Mamba out.
Mamba out.
That's funny.
Now watch. None of it recorded.
Jesus, that would suck.
Chicken Wings and Controversial Things is brought to you by Taj Dewar, Ozzy Hernandez, and Thomas Owens. If you got any ideas for our show, please email us at thechickenwingpodcast@gmail.com or go to our website, www.thechickenwingpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.